good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday, the beginning of a brand new week. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we're rejoicing and we're glad in it. It's cloudy here in the 757, but it's about 54 degrees right now. It's a nice morning to get out and get a walk. They say we might get some rain this afternoon. I think it's going to rain a little sooner than that. But anyway, it is a great day. I hope you had a great weekend. I had a great weekend. Oh, we had a wonderful time of worship at Grace Entwined Ministries yesterday. We did something a little different. We kind of opened up. You know, the word says to, said we will bless the Lord at all times. His praises shall continue to be in our mouths, and we magnified the Lord together and lifted up his name. And then we even went into, we did something a little different, went into a time of testimony. Oh my goodness. It was just a wonderful time. People shared their testimonies. And you know, I'm always encouraged when I hear people's testimonies of how God has brought them through. But it was wonderful. It was Communion Sunday as well. And I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Well, today. You know what? I just thought of something. I had gotten up early this morning. I always get up at about 6 o'clock for prayer. But it was more daylight this morning, and I just remembered. I said, oh, we're getting ready to change. Getting ready to go into daylight saving time. Just want to remind you, you got to turn your clocks forward on next weekend, on March the 10th. So just want to remind you of that. But it's getting bright. I can always tell when we're getting closer to daylight saving time. There's so many things that are coming up. Also want to remind people, especially, we're in one of them Super Tuesday states here in Virginia. Tomorrow, you can go and vote. Not telling you who to vote for, you know, as we're heading into the presidential election in November. But this is the primary. So Democrats and Republicans can vote tomorrow in the Super Tuesday. If you're in a Super Tuesday state. And Virginia, we're in a Super Tuesday state. You know, don't ever neglect to vote. When you get the opportunity to vote, go and vote. Me and my husband, we're going to vote for everything. Even if we got to vote for a dog catcher, we're going to go and vote. People died for the privilege to vote. I know sometimes you say, well, okay, this is just a primary. But these elections, even on the local, even the beginning elections are also important. They're also important. So don't forget, if you're in a Super Tuesday state like we are, Virginia, don't forget to make your plans to vote on this Super Tuesday. Okay. I got a gem nugget for the day, for the beginning of this week. You know, I was just thinking about the fact, I was listening to some testimonies yesterday, and one thing that kind of stood out is that when you stay consistent, you know, especially like a lot of us baby boomers, you know, we have worked and retired, and you know, a lot of young people, they don't believe in you know, working at one place for a long time. But a lot of us, you know, that are retired, we know the rewards of being consistent and staying with something for a long time. And this is my gem nugget for today. Consistency has its rewards. Did you hear me what I said? Consistency has its reward. This is what Paul encourages us to do. He says, therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as ye know your labor is not in vain in the Lord. Whether we're talking about working a regular job or, you know, working in school, you know, keeping our students, keeping our grades up and keeping your grades up. We need to be consistent, and especially in the work of the Lord. Because Paul says that when we are consistent, when we are steadfast, when we don't get pushed out of the way, unmovable in what we're doing, our labor is not in vain, which lets me know there's a reward when we are consistent. I like this saying that I found. It says success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. Think about that for a minute. Success is the sum of being consistent, is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. You know, everything, even from being consistent in your prayer life. You know, I'm one of those people. I'm just a creature of habit. And I try to be consistent in everything that I do. From even every morning, consistently. I'm up at about 6 o'clock. I'm consistently up to pray. I have consistently, like I've been doing this here for years, this walking, being consistently, you know, trying to be on the move and keep my health up. You know, when I was working, I was consistent. I was there every day. I consistently did my job. And guess what? I'm reaping rewards. I'm reaping rewards from being consistent. Those of us that have worked, you know, somebody say, well, you know, you don't get that much, but it's a reward. When you have worked, I worked a total of 38 years being consistent. There were some years that I didn't even miss a day of work. I was consistent. Sometimes I wish I didn't work and be consistent, because, you know, they pay you for, you know, your leave that you know, didn't take. And I gave my people too much leave back. I gave the people too much leave. But anyway, I was consistent in what I did. I didn't really believe in calling in sick if I really want sick or nothing like that, because I'd be scared I'd really get sick and had to lose my leave. But, you know, I was consistent. I was consistent. And you have to be consistent. There are rewards for being consistent, especially in the work of the Lord, in the work of the Lord. So that's all I'm saying today. My gym nugget, and whatever it is, be consistent in what you are doing, especially in the work of the Lord. That's what Paul encourages us to do. He said, therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as you know, your labor is not in vain. Consistency has its rewards. Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. So I'm striving to be consistent. I just like to thank all of you that watch me Monday through Friday as I consistently get my walk on, joining me for Walking 1K with Gigi. And I want you to do me a favor. I want you to do me a favor, because I want this Walking with Gigi to become viral. A lot of you are watching me, I mean, all over the country. I got to give a shout out to my friend Lynn in New Jersey. I did a reel because she is my dear friend, and she did a reel because she was in physical therapy. She had a stroke many years ago, and last year she did a reel for me, and she said, if I can do it, you can do it. Follow Gigi. Oh my goodness, she was doing her steps on her physical therapy machine. And I just want to let you know, I'm going to just give you a shout out, Lynn. I love you, Lynn. I love you, Lynn. And you just keep up that good work. I do love you. Lynn is a good friend of our dear friend Sharon Dixon that I wrote my book about Only by the Grace of God. And Lynn is mentioned in my book as well. But I want to give you a shout out, Lynn, and to all of you that consistently follow me walking 1K with Gigi. But this is what I want you to do. I really want to, my friends, I know I got some friends that watch me in Canada. I know I got friends that watch me in Sweden. Just the other week, had a whole bunch of you from South Africa that left some comments. I know the times are different and everything, but I really appreciate, and I can't not leave out my constant, you know who you are, Miss Diana and Miss Jackie, and of course Lynn and Mr. Rudolph and Miss Edna, and all of y'all that follow me on a consistent basis. But this is what I want you to do, because we really want to make this viral. First of all, subscribe to the Jim Nugget channel. Subscribe to the Jim Nugget channel. And then those of you that do watch, I want you to share this with your friends, your Facebook friends and your friends that you have on social media. Let's share. We want to make this thing viral. I just want to reach the world each morning, Monday through Friday, and make this viral. That all over the world. You know, I see people that getting all these millions of views for just silly and ridiculous stuff. But let's make this viral. I'm helping you maintain your health Monday through Friday, and also sharing a word from the Lord, a word, I hope, of inspiration, encouragement, and instruction. So let's just make this thing viral. I appreciate it, y'all. I appreciate it, y'all. So but this is the thing. I want you to continue to think about this, especially as we start this week, as we're going on. Consistency has its rewards. From 1 Corinthians 5:58, Paul, therefore, my brethren, be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding, especially in the work of the Lord. Be consistent in your work, especially for the Lord. For as much as you know, your labor will not be in vain. Because that's all consistency is. That's how we get success. Success, I like this again, is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. Be consistent, and I hope to see you tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.